Hey, what's going on, everybody? Rock D Lee. If you guys haven't subscribed, go ahead and do so. I'm active on all social media, so if you haven't followed me on Twitter, I ask that you do so. Let's jump into the review. People are saying that this is the greatest Spider-Man movie. Is Rock D Lee going to co-sign it? Am I going to co-sign it? Let me think about it. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I do think this is up there as the greatest Spider-Man movie, but I don't want to fall victim to what we call recency bias, okay? So I have to watch the movie a second time. Now, this is going to be full of spoilers, okay? So if you haven't seen it or you're afraid of spoilers, run very far away. I've already warned you. The reason why the first movie is hard for me to beat is because of this guy. Freaking love Green Goblin, man. Oh my gosh, look at his face, look at the portrayal. I have been saying Green Goblin ideologies since the depiction of Green Goblin through the Tobey Maguire franchise. I also do the same thing with Bane, you know? You are the person you choose to be. Now choose, okay? And I'm gonna go and give you my review, but while we're on Green Goblin, I think Green Goblin played a critical part in this movie, okay? What Green Goblin did in this franchise, right? He was actually the villain. You know, everyone you could, do something for their character, get him back. They weren't recognized, just trying to take care of their daughter, had talking things into them. But see, with Norman, okay? Norman was okay. It was the Green Goblin that was bad. So he was the only one that you couldn't fix, right? By like undoing his powers. I guess you kind of deal with the Lizard, right? But I feel like the Lizard's not fixed. I feel like the Lizard would just go back to trying to become the Lizard again. But hey, that's part of the theme, to get second chances. But you see, with Norman and Green Goblin, very straight up, Norman is good, Green Goblin is bad. That's my impression. Norman is good, Green Goblin is bad, Green Goblin takes over. So in order to actually save this man, you have to just get rid of Green Goblin, period. Not just a power, you have to get rid of that entire mentality, you know? And like I said, one of the things that he said to Tom Holland, and I'm gonna say Tom Holland because there's three Peters, things can get very confusing. One of the things he said to Tom Holland was, you gods got to choose a god's take. He said something of that nature, and it's interesting to see how the movie concluded, right? Because Tom Holland could not have everything he wanted, and that's why I had so much trouble with this movie, because it wasn't a happy-go-lucky movie, which is why it's a great movie and why it's better than the predecessors of the Tom Holland franchise. The Tobey Maguire franchise, I think the first two were solid, period. Got no complaints about it. Andrew Garfield, phenomenal actor. His franchise, okay. Tom Holland has been great. And what people complain about with Tom Holland's franchise is too much MCU, the tech, the Tony, all that kind of stuff, right? Green Goblin fixed it because you see at the end of it, Tom Holland realizes, yeah, he has to choose. He can't have everything. He's been greedy. Goblin told him. Goblin is like, you are greedy. You're trying to have everything. And the other thing about this Spider-Man, right, is even it was frustrating watching a Tom Holland Spider-Man, and I had that Doctor Strange energy. The Doctor Strange energy was, oh yeah, I forget that you were a kid. Like, yeah, you've been saving the world, but you were a kid. And my impression is, or my memory is, he's actually the youngest of the Spider-Mans. Like, he is literally the youngest. So we have to deal with childish decisions. And I've been dealing with these childish decisions since the inception of Tom Holland. You saw even Robert Downey Jr.'s Tony Stark coming through. It was like, yo, what are you doing? What are you doing? And it wasn't until this movie did they make it so clear. Because unfortunately, like I said, full of spoilers, don't watch, we had to lose the best girl. This is the best girl of the franchise. It's Aunt May. And I didn't realize until this movie that he hasn't suffered an actual loss. Correct me if I forgot. But I don't think he suffered an actual loss by his hands until Aunt May. Yeah, he lost Tony. People have died around him. But through his own failure, this is how Aunt May dies, right? And this is, in my opinion, how the movie wraps up. This is what's going to make this Tom Holland a more responsible this Peter Parker, this Spider-Man. It's going to make this Spider-Man much more responsible and less, what are you doing, Spider-Man? Because the entire movie was me like, yo, what are you doing? Listen to Strange. Fast forward. Let these people go back to their fate and die. What are you doing? Ultimately, he made the right decision, but he just wasn't equipped to handle it. And I ultimately think that if Strange had, conceded to Parker's ideals, they could have pulled it off. But again, Peter needed to get these losses so he could become a better hero. And that's also the thing that is supposed to be with Peter Parker. He is not supposed to have this happy-go-lucky life. Up until this movie, I kind of feel like Tom Holland's Spider-Man has kind of got everything he wanted. Things work out. He screws up, but someone's there to fix it. We're finally getting to the point, or we have gotten to the point that, yeah, he cannot fix everything. It's time to grow up. It's time to put on your big boy pants. And that's what they did with this movie. And as we go into that, you see, what they did is with the whole everyone loses their memory of who he is. That's the opportunity for the franchise to kind of get what a lot of Spider-Man fans have wanted. Like a basic Spider-Man. No more gadgets. No more tech. I mean, like, Stark gadgets. Now, that was sad. I felt sad. Like, everybody is going to forget about him. And I was bothered. I left like I did in Infinity Wars. Like, when we lost everybody, I'm like, dang, this homie, everybody forgot about him. The first, I think we've had 2 Tom Holland movies. I'm pretty sure. This is the 3rd, right? Help me. Anyways, the first 2 movies, because he went against Vulture, and we had the one where he got his powers. So yes, there has been 2. But anyways, no, we didn't have the one where he got his powers. Who was his first villains? Oh my god, I forgot. He faced Vulture. Oh my god, Mysterio. Okay, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Because it's like we never got an introduction thing because he just threw him into the MCU and then he had to deal with things on his own. But yeah, where was I going with that? I'm so sorry. Anyways, yeah. Well, the point is we have a nice little reset and I'm expecting a Venom movie. It was nice how they pulled in Tom Hardy because I was also wondering, because I saw Venom before Spider-Man. I was like, how are you going to fix this Venom thing? How are you going to throw him into the MCU universe? And it's like, oh, they're not changing Tom Hardy's story. They're just using Tom Hardy as a way of getting the Venom symbiote into this movie, Anyways, some things I really also liked about the movie is all the cheesy but appreciated Spider-Man lines, the webbing, making fun of each other a little bit, all that little banter, that was great. And I gotta say, it was very, very emotional, guys. Spoiler. It was very emotional when Andrew Garfield saved MJ of this franchise. I mean, it was just beautiful. He does it the right way. Tom Holland couldn't pull it off. He does it the right way, and he's just taking in the moment. I did it. We're not gonna have 2 MJs lost. Andrew Garfield's portrayal of Spider-Man is fantastic as well. This guy, no, I shouldn't say his portrayal is Spider-Man. Andrew Garfield is a phenomenal actor. His crying, I feel it. It's just disappointing that somehow that franchise didn't work. I happen to be okay with The Amazing Spider-Man. Also funny how we kept getting that. I happen to be okay with it, but a lot of people just didn't gravitate to it. I did like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, but why? Because again, this is my homie, okay? So anyways, I thought it was a good movie. Dr. Octopus did his thing. Otto Octavius. We didn't, like I said, we didn't have any true villains, in my opinion. Nah, you're a villain. I got distracted. But, yeah, I was going to say we didn't have any true villains because Electro, he did end up, finding this ultimate power and he wanted to keep that. So, yeah, he's a villain. But the rest of them, like, I don't know what Sandman was doing. Whatchamacallit? Lizard, like, he's a villain, but it's like he called it, right? He's watching Parker and he's like, look, this ain't gonna work out. He tried to do the game until the police came. He was like, yeah, until we push evolution, like this is not gonna stop, man. But anyways, that's my review, guys. It's more of a rant, but I like the movie. What'd you guys think? I'm just circling through some images. Doctor Strange, that's me. I was looking at Peter and I was like, man, this is cringe, right? The choices that he's making, but he's young. He's young. But again, phenomenal. Anyways, like I said, what do you guys think? Drop a comment. I think I'm gonna watch this movie again because I gotta get my notepad so I can get some Green Goblin lines, because man, he was spitting the whole movie, just body slamming the boy Peter. So until next time, guys, Rock D. Lee, I am out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Your boy Rock Lee. Hey, if you haven't already, go ahead and give us a follow on this Twitch channel. Appreciate you guys' support.
Janet.
Hey, if y'all not subscribed, go ahead and do so. Young Justice starting now.